I think it's like a bit tough to sum it in a few words that what is the exact role of an AP, like the short form of an associate producer. But as you can see, that it literally means that a person who is an associate producer is basically an associate to the producer. As simple as that. If I just go by the literal meaning of it. So basically, he is a kind of a bridge between the producer and the director and the entire team that is involved in making the whole film. Since a producer cannot get involved in uh, each and every things and stages while making a film, an associate producer makes sure that whatever money is being spent on is being spent in a justified way, and the creative vision that all of them have seen at the beginning of the film, that's been implemented in a proper way. Now, to get into a bit detailing of it, if you ask me, then it generally starts from reading scripts. So just like to say that I receive around, I think, 10 or 15 scripts on an average every day, and we need to go through each and every script. And if I like any particular script, then I take it to the producer, and I have a discussion with him. Now if he also likes it, then on a creative level it's kind of locked from our end. Then we have a brief meeting on the budget and all between me and my producer, that within how much budget can we think that this can be done. Then it goes like having a meeting with the director, and then setting up the budget as a whole, and knowing the vision of the director, that what he actually wants. Because many a times what happens that you think of something, but that's not feasible in a practical way. So then we have to figure all those things out, that how things need to be done, both on the production level and also not compromising the creative aspect of it. The first thing should be a person who is creatively essential for that project, or creatively suitable, like the right word for the project. Because what happens many times, you will see that, like for a basic example, if there is a particular DOP, he might be very good in lighting up a scene, but he might not be that good in composing that scene, example. So in that case, you have to find that what does this particular script demands. So if you find that, okay, this is a script which demands a very good composition, it has many substances to play with, whether it's in the art department or whether it's with the characters, then you go with a DOP who is very good in composing things. Then we prefer that aspect of any DOP over anything else. Then the second point that comes is the budget, because like that's the only point where we get stuck most of the time, that we have a restrained budget, and most of the people say that no, I mean, whichever budget you place in front of anyone, it will be less in front of them, right? So no budget can be enough for anyone. So also to see that, okay, this guy might come within this particular budget, but that can be sorted out also. I mean, if any person is quite passionate about a script, very frankly, budget and all doesn't matter to those persons at all. So what really matters a lot is how passionate they are about a particular script. If there is some problem going on, and if your crew is not adjusting with you, if that particular crew is very adamant on his or her point that no, I'll not go beyond what I say, or I'll not do anything else than what I say, then that becomes really an issue. So flexibility and a person with whom you can work easily. So yeah, that's how we choose a crew. So I think that's the most important work. The very first thing is the time, because there is a timetable involved in each and every stage, that within this date we have to complete this, within this date we have to complete this. So ensuring that each and everything is taking place on time. Then is the budget, that whatever budget we had decided for a particular department, it takes place within that particular budget only. In a sense, you can say that the budget and time are related to each other, because when work starts, everything counts on hours. So as the number of hours keeps on increasing, the budget also keeps on increasing. So the best way is to be sure that each and everything is taking place in proper time. Then the budget can be sorted out easily. And the third thing, which is the most important thing, that is to ensure that the creative vision that you and the director saw at the beginning of the project, things are progressing in that way only. Keeping within a budget doesn't mean that we would compromise on the quality of a film. So ensuring that whatever we had decided to do, whatever we thought on paper, that is properly implemented on screen, and of course within the budget. So that's how the three stages are being planned: the pre, the production, and the post. People come from various backgrounds, people come from various school of making films. Everyone has their own ideas, and no idea is small or no idea is big. We have to take suggestion from each and everyone, but the decision essentially is taken by the director only. So as a producer, I have to ensure that each and every person is working in a proper cooperation and in a proper coordination with each other, because many a times we find this issue, like somebody is coming and saying, we had done this, but I told that guy to do, but he did not do. Or then that guy comes and says that, no, I did it, you did not do it. So at that point exactly, so at that point in time, if I get busy in finding out that who is right and who is wrong, then my project is going to suffer. So the best thing is just to leave all those things apart and just see that how things can be done next. So management of people, that's another very important point. Yeah. Short films and ads are more or less the same. I won't say exactly the same, I would say more or less the same. The only difference that we can find between producing a producing a short film and an ad is that ad is having a much higher budget than that of a short film, because ads are being generally funded by the corporates or the brands for whom we are making that ad, right? So as a production house or as a producer, my responsibility is just to make the ad. The money belongs to the brand. So in ads, in most of the cases, I won't say in each and every case, most of the cases in ads, the budget is a bit high. And in short films, we have like zero budget. So in ads, we earn money, and in short films, we lose money. In short films, we take all the furniture, stairs, and everything from our own homes, and pull favor from people here and there. So the budget is pretty low in short films, and in ads, it's on a bit higher side. And one more difference, which is in ads, you generally don't have a creative control. In ads, you generally don't have a creative control, because what happens in ads, most of the things that you're watching on screen, each and everything is generally approved by the client himself, right? So whether the actors whom we choose, or the locations that we choose, or the color of the costume, or like how we are uh, like how we are planning to shoot the film as a whole. So that is in a way uh, decided by the client. We have to take approval from our client at each and every stage. But in short films we are free from all these things. It's totally the vision of the director. And yeah, it totally depends upon him how he is going to shoot the film. So creative liberty is one more difference that we find between a short film and an ad. I have worked in TV for around, I think, like 2.5 years maybe. And I had produced 3 TV shows. Uh, so, so like working in TV is like literally working 24/7, right? So one day of shoot extends to around maybe 15 hours or like 16 hours, and this happens every day. There is not a single day when you can take rest. Yeah, now I think that there have been few rules which are taken by the unions and all that. We have to restrict the shoot within 12 hours or like 13 hours.
Yeah.
But even a year before, I would say, people just work for 16 hours to 17 hours, and it's basically like delivering episodes each and every day. It's I mean, uh, like somebody once told me, and I really like this analogy a lot, that it's a kind of Xerox machine, to say, where the papers are coming out and out and out each and every day. So production in television is like more, you have to be like ready all the time. Nothing can be planned. Nothing is planned in TV, because the script or the screenplay, I mean the episodic screenplay and all, these things come like on the very day. Might be 2 hours before the shoot or 3 hours before the shoot, or it might come just a night before the shoot. So you have a very little time to actually like prepare everything. So in 2 hours you have to prepare things from each and every department, whether it's art department, whether it's costume, everything you have to prepare. That's like a very big difference, that in short films and ads we can at least plan things can take place very peacefully. But in TV you always have to be on your toes, and you always have to know that anything can come at any point in time, and I have to do this. So there was a TV show that we were doing, and it was around 11 p.m. at night. So my producer calls me at that point in time, and he asks me that what is the status of the shoot at around 11 or 11:15. I told him that we are just left with half of the scene, and after this we can pack up for the day. Then he told me at that time, 11 or 11:15 p.m. at night, that no, don't pack up. We will shoot a promo after this. Now, for those who don't know, this promo thing of TV, this comes on every week for about 10 seconds or like 15 seconds. But for shooting this 10 to 15 second of thing, we need to shoot for 5 or 6 hours. Because for shooting a promo, generally people comes from the television channel. I don't know what is the logic behind this. I have never been given the privilege to understand this, but like the director from our end is shooting each and every episode, that's fine. But when it comes to a promo shoot, the channel becomes very cautious, and they come and they shoot the promo. So at around 11:15 or 11:30, I get to know that there is a shoot of promo. And I asked him that what is the script. He said, I don't know. I said, what is the location? What are the costumes? What are the, I mean, who are the characters even in this scene? He said, I don't know. So I said, then what the hell are we going to shoot? And he said that a confirmation is coming from channel. It will take some time. So confirmation comes from channel at around 11:45 or something. And after that, I get to know it's a promo of a wedding scene. So it's a wedding scene with whole lot of costumes, junior artists, art, everything, and it's 11:15 p.m. Then I literally wake everyone up. I mean, the HODs from each and every department. that wake up, we have to shoot a promo right now, people start abusing me, but I can't help it. Then after we finished the regular episodic shoot that was going on, we then went to shoot the promo. And again, I mean, the location was not somewhere where we can actually easily shoot it, right? Because TV shows generally take place inside a studio or something, but that promo needed to happen far away in some temple or like some place. It could not be shot in a studio. So that time the location manager found a temple. We got the temple open, and then we traveled to that temple. And after doing the setup and all, it was around 3:30 a.m. at night. We start shooting the promo at 3:30 or 4 maybe. Luckily, the entire shoot was inside a temple. I mean, it was an indoor shoot, so there was no continuity jerk as far as the light was concerned. So the entire scene took place inside the temple, and we were using our light, so there was no question of the sunlight disrupting the shoot. So that was an advantage of ours. And we then finished the shoot at around 8 or 8:30 in the morning, and on the same day we had shoot at 11 a.m. So after just 3 hours of break. So that's how life in TV is. That's how life in TV is. And another thing is that in TV, again, every confirmation comes from the channel.
Okay.
So like in ads, it comes from the clients. In television also, the producers from the TV actually give you confirmation on the costumes or on the artists, on the location. So now that also kills a lot of time, because if at each and every stage you're clicking a picture and sending it to the channel EP, and if he or she is saying that no, this doesn't work, try something else, then that actually kills another half an hour or like 1 hour. And we have to continuously push them. We have to finish the shoot. People are shouting, give a confirmation. So yeah, that's how TV production differs from that of short films. Yeah.